Good afternoon, Whisperers, and welcome to the season 12 finale of Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays. I'm Sonya LaRae, luxury lifestyle architect specializing in aligning high performing lives through lifestyle counseling, fashion psychology, and naturopathic wellness. It is so good to welcome you back into our safe zone right here in the Whisperers Lounge. Can you believe? We are about to go on our summer hiatus and season 12 is wrapping. I can't even believe it. Whispers, before we dive in, hit that subscribe or that follow button so you never miss an episode. And make sure that you subscribe to our Whispers Exchange newsletter because I have to tell you, season 13, now you know season 12 has been fire, but season 13, I have some exclusive offers that I'm only sharing inside of our Whispers community. So you want to make sure that you subscribe because there's some great things that are coming in the pipeline that you don't want to miss. And you know there's always a link in our description box, but I invite you to come over and please follow us on Instagram at whispers in a bottle underscore podcast. Send us a message as well, and we will respond back to you. I promise you you are going to see some things over the summer that you're not going to want to miss. So, Whispers, this season has never simply been about slowing down. It has never been about that. It has been about reclaiming yourself. Ooh. Now, I got to slow down a little bit because I'm so excited over today's discussion because we began our journey discussing how to thrive by becoming present and fully in the moment. And then we deepened our understanding of that mind body connection and how stress, exhaustion, emotional suppression, and even that constant performance slowly disconnect us from ourselves. But now, in the last part of season 12, we'd entered the space of emotional mastery in the present, where we learned that regulation, awareness, and even intentional living are not luxuries. They are not luxuries. They are survival tools for high performing lives. Now, I know that we have discussed so many things, but literally, today, Whispers, is this final episode. We bring every lesson together because the truth of the matter is this: presence is not merely awareness of the moment. Presence is the ability to emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually occupy your own life without abandoning yourself in the process. Now, you hear how dynamic this is. And I always tell you that I always like to connect the dots that we come to that full circle moment. But Whisperers, many people are physically present yet emotionally absent. And many are productive yet disconnected, and many are successful yet internally fragmented. And we see this on a daily. But see, this season was designed to help our whisperers stop performing life and finally begin experiencing it. Now, when we experience things, that means that we are really living in that moment. We are really taking in every aspect of it. So today's final or today's finale is about integration. And I think that's the best way that I can put it because we want to integrate everything that we have learned thus far in the season, not adding more, but becoming whole. Because emotional mastery is not perfection, it is the ability to remain connected to yourself while life continues to move around us. You know that beautiful ebb and flow that I speak about. So, I like to give out master keys in all of our discussions. And this isn't any different, but these master keys are so powerful this episode because, as you know, they already allow us to open up the hallways, the corridors, and the secret compartments of our heart and our mind. And they also allow us to shift, to be able to shut out or shut off that inner and outer noise. But these master keys that we're going to get today are also going to allow us to step into, step over, and step upon the direction that is going to help us to keep our trajectory towards our purpose. Now, that's powerful. So, with that being said, let's get into our first master key. Our first master key is integration creates internal stability. Integration creates internal stability. Now, one of the greatest understandings about healing or growth and self-development is the belief that, transformation comes from consuming more information. More books, more routines, more strategies, more motivation. But true transformation, whispers, happens when information becomes integration. So that means that we place it into our life, place it into our growth, our development. That's where stability is built, actually. And whispers, throughout this season, we discussed presence. We leaned into the nervous system regulation, moving with gratitude, how stillness causes a power, emotional pauses, micro resets, environmental clarity, intentional scheduling, and the mind body awareness. These were true assets that we stepped into and really leaned into. And I always tell you, make sure that you keep your master keys in your hand. Don't throw them in your bag, don't throw them in the back of your car. You need them because we have to be able to lean into them and pull the key that we need at the time that something is showing up. But none of these concepts matter if they remain intellectual ideas instead of embodied practices, though. See, whispers, high performing individuals often suffer from what I call that emotional overcrowding. So, what that is and what it looks like is this: they know what to do, but they don't create space to live what they know. And eventually, the body begins to carry the weight of what the mind refuses to process. Now, that's deep and it's very heavy in that space. But listen, that's why many executives feel exhausted and many people feel exhausted despite success. They feel disconnected despite achievement, and they feel emotionally numb despite having everything they once prayed for. Now, integration actually asks a different question of ourselves. And I slowed it down and I paused a little bit because I really want to lean into this point. And if you could see my notes today for today's discussion, it would blow you away because I even have little stickies, different little things. I have some things even on my screen that I want to make sure that I tap into as well. Because when we integrate certain things differently, there are certain questions that have to arise. So, what would happen if you stopped trying to become someone new and instead learned how to fully inhabit who you already are? Now, that's a powerful question. What would happen if you stopped trying to become someone new and instead learn how to fully inhabit who you already are? This is a powerful question because that is where peace begins. Not in performance, but in alignment, whispers. So I tell you this summer, I really want you, whispers, to revisit this season slowly. Slowly. And I don't mean like binge listening for entertainment, but I mean really listening for implementation. I want you to choose one lesson each week because you realize that through this season, we literally had 13 powerful episodes that we went through. And I mean, they were full. They were power packed. There's so many master keys. There's secondary keys in some of the discussions that we had, even. But literally, when you get to sit in that space and place and practice one principle intentionally, and that means on purpose, you allow your body, your emotions, your routines, your environment to catch up to the wisdom you have already received. And sometimes, as people, we have to give ourselves permission to slow down so we can connect, so we can discover, and so we can start to open the hallways, the corridors, the secret compartments of our heart and our mind, so we have the ability to step in, step over, and step upon the purpose that we have. And that's dynamic. See, the goal is not consumption. And that's one thing I want you all to understand. The goal is never consumption, the goal is embodiment. And when we embody things, that means we're taking on the practice of. So, with that being said, Whispers, I have to give you a second powerful master key to complement that first one. And the second master key is emotional mastery is your new luxury. Oh, yes, honey. Let me say it again. Emotional mastery is the new luxury. Now, you know, we live in a culture that glorifies emotional chaos. We do. And we even see it daily on the news. We see what's happening, what's coming down the pipeline. It's constant emotional chaos, constant stimulation, constant urgency, constant reaction, overreaction. But, Whispers, emotional mastery is learning how to remain anchored without becoming emotionally unavailable. Woo. And that requires maturity, though. One of the deepest lessons from this season was understanding that emotional regulation protects your future. Now, do you remember that? See, every impulsive reaction costs us something. It costs us our relationships, it can cost us opportunities, it can cost us our clarity, our leadership, our credibility, and even sometimes our very own health. Because, see, emotional mastery is not suppression, it is intellectual, or, nope, wait a minute. It is intelligent awareness. It's intelligent awareness. Because why I say that is because it recognizes when your nervous system is overwhelmed, when your body needs to reset, when your environment is draining you, and when your schedule is violating your peace, and when your emotions are asking for acknowledgement instead of avoidance. Now, that's how powerful that intelligent awareness is. It calls forth everything. That's totality. See, as individuals, and especially high performing individuals, we cannot afford emotional neglect. We cannot. Because, especially if you're a leader, if you're a parent, or you're a visionary, and especially those responsible for guiding others. So, even when I'm in this space and place and giving these discussions, I have to lead with that intelligence and that awareness, because emotionally mastered people are not ever feeling that they deserve or a reaction. Not every thought deserves authority, and not every moment requires urgency. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is pause. Just pause. You know, I tell you constantly, there is power in pausing, there is power in breathing, there is power in observing. And You get to choose intentionally on purpose. And that means that you have emotional wealth. Because, Whispers, as I was sitting here and I was saying that, when your inner world becomes stable, your outer world begins responding actually differently. And when that happens, we get to make better decisions, we communicate differently, and we even protect our energy. And you choose relationships differently and you lead differently. So, this is why emotional mastery is one of the highest forms of luxury available today. Because why do I say that? Because guess what? Peace becomes a luxury, clarity becomes a luxury, regulation becomes a luxury, and most importantly, alignment. It's luxurious. It's luxurious when you get to be in those present moments, those present feelings, that present mindset, the regulation of your system, which basically leads us into our third and final master key. And I can't believe this is our last master key of the season, even. So, our third master key is this: your presence is your greatest contribution. Wait a minute. Let me put that on replay. Your presence is your greatest contribution. So, Whispers, as we close the season, right? I want everyone listening to understand something very deeply. Your presence matters more than your performance. And the world teaches people to measure worth by productivity, by your loved ones, but your loved ones, they don't need more exhausted versions of yourself. They need your actual presence, meaning that they need you to be present mind, body, and soul, totality. They need you to be present mind, body, and soul. But you realize many people are missing entire seasons of their lives because they are mentally tapped in that survival mode. Always rushing, always worrying, always anticipating, always emotionally elsewhere. I mean, we've had a whole season that we've really talked about and really delved so deeply into being present that we thrive in that present, in that now. But life is happening now for us, not someday, but now, Whispers. So that's why it's so imperative that we really lock in and know how to really embody these qualities. See, the conversations, the healing, the sunsets, the laughter, the stillness, the opportunities for connection are now. They're not later, they're now. And if you never lean or learn, let's say you don't lean into it and you don't learn to emotionally arrive in your own life, literally, success will continue feeling empty no matter how much you achieve. So, literally, Whispers, this season, it wasn't about perfection at all. And I hope you all realize that because I tell you constantly that we are perfectly imperfect and we will get that right each and every time. But see, it was about returning home to yourself. And over this summer break, I want to challenge every whisper to practice one thing daily, to practice it: intentional presence. That means like sit outside without distractions. Sit outside, take notice of things, Look at things that you may not have seen because you was on your phone. You were focused on everything and anything else except for what is around you. Eat without multitasking. Notice how good the food may taste. It may even taste better than it did when you was so distracted. You may even see that there's certain things that you didn't even notice. Oh my goodness, the plating is just dynamic. Take mindful walks. Allow yourself to go for a walk and let your mind be free. Let it to examine things about yourself. Let it take you further than you even thought it could. Journal honestly. Get your journal out and pour your heart into it. What are things that I see for myself? Where do I see myself growing? How do I want to present myself? And make sure that you rest without guilt. Take a break and don't feel guilty about it. Stop. Don't put the phone together. Don't do this. Don't do that. Take a break and don't feel guilty. Do not say, I'm sorry. I just was no, I'm sorry. You know, it's no sorry in feeling that you need to rest and recuperate and allow your body and your system to be rejuvenated. Because protect your emotional bandwidth, even. But I want to say something that's even more important. I want to tell you all this. Stop abandoning yourself for productivity. Stop abandoning yourself for productivity because the quality of your life will always be determined by the quality of your presence within it. If you need to come back and hear that again, let me reiterate that at the 2147 marker. The 2147 marker is this: the quality of your life will always be determined by the quality of your presence within it. See, Whisperers, this was such a powerful season and offered so much insight into ourselves. And that's why I encourage you to come back and listen to it because sometimes when we hear it and we're hearing it live, we miss some key points. And I can't even believe how quickly our time together has gone. And even right now, sitting in here doing this season finale with you all, I can't even begin to tell you how much I've appreciated you spending your life seconds with me. So, before I give you my closing thoughts and even some broadcasting notes and everything, I want to make sure that you hit the subscribe button or the follow button, leave us a review, even. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the Whisper Exchange newsletter because season 13 is going to be something special. I cannot even can't even begin to tell you how excited I am over it and the things that we're going to be birthing that I'm excited to offer to you, Whispers, even. And so make sure that you subscribe to the Whispers Exchange. Come over to Whispers in a Bottle _podcast on Instagram. Give us a follow over there. Send us a DM and we will DM you the links or anything that you need. And I also want to take a moment to thank our affiliate and our sponsor inside of the Velvet Pour. This season has been truly wonderful because we've gotten to feature Toast non alcoholic beverages and for hosting all of the delicious mocktails for each episode this season. And we look forward to bringing more things to our community, more collaborations, more affiliate programs as well, and sponsorships. And if you would like to be a sponsor of our show, please feel free to email us at info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. Again, that's info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. And if you would like to book me as a guest on your podcast, have me as a guest speaker, an MC, or to have me at your event, please feel free to reach out to my publicist. His name is Trey. You can reach him at treytheglue@gmail.com or info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. Once again, that's treytheglue@gmail.com or info@whispersinabottlepodcast.com. So, with all that being said, Whispers, let's lean into our closing right now. You know, I really want to thank you for walking through season 12 with me because you always are allowing these conversations to enter your home. You allow them to enter your mind, your routines, and your walk in purpose, even. And this season was very deeply intentional. And I really thought about what I wanted to bring in to season 12, from thriving in the present to strengthening the mind body connection to mastering the emotional awareness in real time. And literally, Whispers, every discussion was designed to help you create a life that feels as good internally as it may appear externally. And during our summer hiatus, I encourage you to revisit the entire season, download every episode, listen again with fresh ears. But even important, more important is this: share these conversations with someone who may need emotional clarity, restoration, or alignment, or share a discussion with your inner circle that can elevate, uplift, and move you all forward and have powerful discussions and even help you all to build upon the success that you all want to go towards. Because healing conversations deserve longevity. And if you are ready for deeper transformation or strategic life recalibration, emotional regulation, executive level clarity, personalized guidance, I invite you to apply for my private advisory. And Whispers, let me just say, you know, as a luxury lifestyle architect, I work privately with high performing individuals, executives, visionaries who really are ready to align their personal and professional lives through lifestyle counseling, fashion psychology, and naturopathic wellness. I just recently did an interview, and I was stating in that interview of why I felt it's so important to marry all aspects together is because we are not one dimensional people. And as a total body, there are things that we have to step in and we have to nurture at every level. So, this is not some coaching program or anything like that. This is literally architecting your life, blueprinting your life. And it's not surface level motivation, this is structured transformation. So, my private advisory is only by application. And there's always a link in the description box. And some of the links are broken in some of the episodes. I don't know why, but literally, if you come over to our Instagram page at whispers in a bottle underscore podcast and DM me, I will get you the application. And it's intentionally designed for like individuals that are serious about that emotional mastery. So before I close out Whispers, let me just say I want you to protect your peace. I want you to protect your presence. I want you to protect your well being because your life deserves more than survival. It deserves your full presence. So, Whispers, how are you going to embody all of the lessons that we have? Whispers, how are you going to keep your master keys close to you to be able to pull and draw on them as we are in our summer hiatus? Because when we come back, I'm even giving you more keys. I'm developing new things and I'm building out new conversations. And I'm telling you, season 13 is going to be powerful. And if you want to tap in even further, I always encourage you to make sure that you are subscribed to the Whispers Exchange because there's other areas that I'm having powerful discussions. Do you know that I have the 6 at 6 that is live on LinkedIn every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Do you know that I have Whispers in a Bottle Noon Vibe Edition live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Noon Vibe app? You don't? Come over to the Whisperers Exchange. This way you're not missing anything. So, with that being said, Whisperers, you have been listening to Whispers in a Bottle Grown Talk Cocktail Fridays, a clear voice amongst the noise. We'll be back in our safe zone come September 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. My name is Sonya LaRae, luxury lifestyle architect, but I'm always honored to say I am your host. Have a beautiful summer break. And don't forget, we'll be back here in our safe zone again, bringing more powerful discussions. All right, Whisperers, have a beautiful summer. Talk to you soon.